Marvel and DC aren't just competitors. For decades, they've also inspired each other, and sometimes copied each other. Because when two comic giants grow side by side for nearly a century, the line between inspiration and imitation starts getting blurry. Both universes have speedsters, both have billionaire archers, both have cosmic villains, both have reality-breaking sorcerers, and in some cases, the similarities are honestly impossible to ignore. So the real question is, were these characters simply inspired by each other, or were they straight-up copies? And today, Waki, we're diving deep into some of the biggest Marvel and DC similarities, and to figure out one thing: who was original and who came later. Starting with the biggest cosmic villains, Darkseid versus Thanos. Darkseid was introduced by DC in 1970 and quickly became one of the most terrifying villains in comic book history. But Darkseid isn't just a villain, he's an ideology, the ruler of Apocalypse, a world built entirely on darkness, control, and oppression. And his ultimate goal, the anti-life equation, a force powerful enough to remove free will from every living being in existence. No choices, no freedom, only control. To Darkseid, free will is a flaw, and according to the comics, he has destroyed over 100,000 worlds, just searching for anti-life. Honestly, after that much destruction, the real problem might not even be the equation anymore, it might just be Darkseid himself. Now on Marvel's side, we have Thanos, introduced in 1973, just 3 years later, and almost immediately, he became Marvel's ultimate cosmic threat. Like Darkseid, Thanos is also an alien warlord, but instead of control, his obsession is balance. Using the Infinity Stones, he wipes out half the universe, believing sacrifice is necessary to save reality. In his mind, he's the hero. In everyone else's eyes, he's a genocidal monster. And when you compare the two, the similarities become obvious. Both are massive cosmic tyrants. Both reshape reality through ideology. Both require entire superhero teams to stop them. The Justice League for Darkseid, the Avengers for Thanos. The difference? Darkseid wants total control. Thanos believes he's creating balance, but either way, the result is the same: mass destruction. And somehow, the similarities only get crazier from here, because now we're talking about speedsters. Moving on to the next comparison, the Flash versus Quicksilver. At first glance, these two seem identical. Both run fast, both move faster than normal humans, and both are known for speed. But once you look deeper, the difference becomes massive. The Flash isn't just fast, he's broken. His powers come from the Speed Force, a cosmic energy source that completely bends the laws of reality. And because of that, Flash can do things that shouldn't even be possible. Time travel, dimension crossing, infinite speed. In one comic, he literally runs to the end of time itself. In another, he moves so fast that touching him becomes impossible. Even Superman struggles to keep up. Now compare that to Marvel's Quicksilver. Pietro Maximoff is definitely fast, but his speed has limits. He doesn't have the Speed Force, he can't manipulate time, he can't break reality. He's simply an enhanced human with super speed. That's the biggest difference. For Flash, speed is an entire power system. For Quicksilver, speed is just an ability. And that's exactly why Flash operates on a cosmic level while Quicksilver stays grounded. In fact, in the MCU, Quicksilver couldn't even outrun bullets. Honestly, he probably never saw that coming. So far, Marvel and DC don't just look similar. They almost feel like alternate versions of each other. Now let's talk about the magic users. Dr. Fate versus Dr. Strange. Dr. Fate has existed since 1940, making him one of DC's oldest mystical characters. Kent Nelson becomes Dr. Fate after wearing the helmet of fate and becoming the host of the ancient entity Nabu. And after that point, he's no longer just human. He becomes a magical weapon. Dr. Fate deals with threats normal superheroes can't handle: demons, curses, alternate dimensions, reality distortions. Now on Marvel's side, we have Dr. Strange, a brilliant surgeon who loses everything after a devastating accident. And after training under the Ancient One, he becomes the Sorcerer Supreme. And honestly, his role is almost identical. If reality starts breaking, if dimensional threats appear, if physics stop making sense, Dr. Strange steps in, and the similarities are impossible to ignore. Both are mystical guardians. Both protect reality itself. Both draw power from ancient artifacts and unknown forces. And neither of them deal with normal crime. No bank robberies, no street gangs, only universe-level threats. But there's still one major difference. Dr. Fate is a host, sharing control with Nabu. Dr. Strange controls his power himself, but now we move away from magic to heroes with no powers at all, yet somehow still standing beside gods. Next comparison, Green Arrow versus Hawkeye Oliver Queen, a billionaire who had everything until one accident changed his life forever. After surviving on an isolated island, he mastered archery to perfection, not just shooting arrows, but precision, timing, and control. And despite fighting alongside gods and metahumans, Green Arrow has no superpowers, no super strength, no speed, no magic, just skill, and highly advanced arrows, explosive arrows, electric arrows, grappling arrows. Basically, an arrow for every situation. Now compare that to Marvel's Hawkeye. Clint Barton is also just a normal human, no powers, but his accuracy is nearly perfect. Like Green Arrow, he relies entirely on training, precision, and experience. And his arrows are also incredibly advanced. EMP arrows, explosive tips, smoke arrows. Again, a solution for every situation. And when you compare the two, the similarities are obvious. Both are master archers. Both fight beside superhumans. Both survive without powers. But the real difference comes from personality. Green Arrow wants to change the system itself. He fights corruption, politics, and social injustice. In the comics, he even becomes mayor. Hawkeye is different. He's a soldier, an agent, someone who follows orders. And in the MCU, like when he loses everything, he becomes Ronin, a man consumed by grief and anger. So yes, their skills are similar, but their mindsets completely different. One fights against the system, the other fights inside it. And honestly, this is where the debate gets difficult, because the similarities are way too specific to ignore. So after looking at all these characters, it's hard to believe all of this is just coincidence. Same roles, same powers, sometimes even the same personalities, but in the end, the biggest difference always comes down to execution. One idea, two universes, two completely different stories. So now the question is yours. Who do you think was original and who copied who?